Hello everybody, MakersX here, back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And yes, this is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill because on Wednesday, February the 17th at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, my time, Nintendo is going to be dropping their first Nintendo General Direct of the year. It's not of this year, it's not of last year. The last time we had one was 2 years ago, back in the fall of 2019. That's how long it's been since we had the last General Nintendo Direct, baby. And man, I am super hyped up about it. I was debating on whether or not even to make a video or drop a big old blog post where y'all just get the link and just read all this stuff though. But there was just too much hype going on in my house. It's way too much hype for me to be able just to sit this one out. So I have to get my thoughts out here, try to push this video out as fast as I possibly can. Probably gonna be dropping overnight though, but man, y'all in for a good one though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up into this video for my predictions for this Nintendo General Direct. Alright, so the way I think I'm going to be able to handle all of this is I'm going to basically split it up into its major topics. We know that Nintendo first-party games are going to be here. We know third-party games are going to be here. Probably some new announcements for the first parties as well as new announcements for the third parties. And then the thing that you have to go back and make sure you look back on their tweet was that they also said that they're going to be making some type of announcements that are based upon games that have already been released, including ones like Super Smash Bros. And that's this whole other thing though. So I'm going to probably go ahead and start with what we do know. And that's the matter of fact that they did say that there's going to be announcements for already released games such as Super Smash Bros. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right up into this though. So with Smash Bros, we know that they're most likely, at least what I feel like is, they're probably going to go ahead and drop their fourth character within the roster within the second DLC pack. Now the big question is, what is that character been? You know, people really wanted to get Geno, and unfortunately he got the Mii character treatment, so you can boot him out. He ain't going to be up in there though. And honestly, it really kind of comes down to two main things, at least what I feel like, if it's going to be a third-party character. One is probably going to be Crash, the other one being the Monster Hunter Rise rep. Let's start with Crash real quick. Crash will make a pretty good sense in order for them to put it up in there. I mean, we already had the Crash Insane trilogy already on the Switch, and not to mention that we also are getting Crash 4, It's About Time, coming to the Nintendo Switch here fairly soon. We got news of that recently within the past week or so, so you would think it'll be the perfect time for Crash. At least for me personally, I don't feel any positive affinity with Crash. I played through some of the Crash Insane trilogy, not really sort of kind of like my style of game though, but I do understand the hype for those kind of people that really want Crash and Smash though. But the character I would want out of these two possible ones would be a Monster Hunter character rep. They can pick anything from the franchises, from their mainline series, from their side series though, but what I'm thinking and probably banking on is the Monster Hunter Rise character, probably the one that's that we've been sort of kind of associating with, that's been on the box art. That dude right there, I'm pretty sure they're going to put him into the game. Hence, we do know Monster Hunter Rise is coming out in the month of March, literally next month, and there's no other greater way to probably push him by putting him in the Smash Bros. I feel like that would make a logical sense for them to do that. I mean, shoot, even Rathalos is already in the Smash Bros. Ultimate game, so I feel like that is a very good shot at, you know, being up here within just representing Smash as a whole for the DLC though. However, I will go out on a limb and say I don't think it's just gonna be Smash Brothers characters that could be revealed for Smash Brothers anything related with Ultimate. You know, they did say updates on previously released games. And, you know, the way how they worded it, it didn't necessarily say, hey, there's a new Smash Bros. Character being revealed tomorrow. We're just going off of that assumption that there would be. But what if they actually go in there and update Smash Bros. And put in extra stuff in the game besides a character, such as brand new stages, maybe some music tracks, maybe even some more Mii's, some more costumes and stuff. I feel like that's kind of stuff is not out of the realm of possibilities. You know, modes like home run contests were actually added in the Smash Bros. Ultimate after the original launch date. Things like that I feel like are probably a good decent chance of actually showing up within this direct. And I feel like, you know, I feel like they're gonna go ahead and just spill all the beans on it. I feel like it's most likely going to be a new character, but there's also the possibilities that they could add some quality of life stuff, like what I said before with adding new stages, new musics. That would be some of the greatest things I feel like they could personally put up into it and make it even feel, it's already an ultimate version of Smash. They can even make it feel even more ultimate than what it is right now. So that's basically the predictions I have within Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I will also say this as one last little character rep that I'll go ahead and predict. Please, 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 oh please, I still want my Rex and Mythra / Pyra in the game. Like, please give it to me, Sakurai. Please, I know you were trying to get it in there before the game was in like its pre-development stages. Like, you wanted to get them in there. You had to put them as me characters. Break your own rule. Put them up in there, please. Because I also wanted an amiibo of that so badly, man. Like, please. Now, that will pretty much do it in terms of the Smash Brothers stuff. In terms of other previously released games that could get updates, I'll go out on a limb and say even Mario Kart. You know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is selling like hotcakes. So I feel like there might be a good possibilities that they might go ahead and just give us DLC finally after all of this time, and especially for those of us that played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. It's been like a long 7 or so years with this game though, but I feel like it's not in the realm of possibilities to either add new tracks, and obviously the music and stuff will come with it. I don't know if they were to add new tracks, would it add 16 different courses like it was with the DLC with the Wii U? It's possible. I just don't know how much they'll add, but I feel like that might be a decent chance. Looking at a game like Splatoon 2, we even know that with Splatoon, they said they were not going to do any more Splatfest, no more updates since that last major Splatfest. But since then, we had little Splatfest such as Rerun Splatfest, along with the Super Mario 35th anniversary one where it's like Star Power versus Mushroom Power. They already broke the rules, so why not go ahead and give us a little bit of extra DLC? I don't know exactly would they take the route of something like an Octo expansion if they wanted to go ahead and do that, or go ahead and do something that I'm going to go ahead and personally predict if they gave us more Splatoon 2 content, because I don't think they're going to announce a Splatoon 3 anytime soon, would be something related with the Salmonoids, because we did see that little teaser little thing that said like an SOS 2020, which honestly maybe they were honestly trying to predict that bad things were coming in the year 2020. They were trying to prepare us, but no one knew about what was coming in the year 2020. But that's just one little thing I feel like that could happen with Splatoon. Other things I've been sort of kind of thinking in the back of my mind, like Mario Odyssey, could they finally give us DLC for that too? Even with that, I'm like, it's been so long. It's been since the year 2017, since they had the game launch. And honestly, I just don't know whether or not they're going to give that to us. It would be super nice, but I honestly don't think that might not be a case. I'm just running all the scenarios in the back of my mind. I'm like, it will make perfect sense for us, but at the same time, maybe not, because they just released Bowser's Fury just recently, like a week ago. So I don't know if Mario Odyssey stuff will be in the pipeline. Sure, could they give us things like Ring Fit Adventure updates? I'll probably go out and say yes, I think so too. Kirby Clash, we had that game drop out last year. I feel like they're going to give some new updates with that, maybe add some new different power abilities and such, maybe some new stages on that. They really love their Kirby game, so maybe give us some updates on that. And the last thing I'll go ahead and say about old games getting some new content would be none other than Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because we do know that with those type of games from Koei Tecmo, they really do like DLC, and I feel like that would just be the perfect game to go ahead and add new characters, maybe even a couple of new areas that you might be able to find within Breath of the Wild. Just add those little areas to the game. I feel like that would make perfect logical sense. They always like doing those updates and DLCs for even the original Hyrule Warriors that we have on the Switch with the definitive version of it, so it just makes perfect sense for them to go ahead and do that as well though. So I feel like in terms of all of the games that we already have that are already have been out and released, I feel like in terms of DLC that add extra content, I feel like those games I mentioned before were probably the ones that we're gonna get within this Nintendo General Direct. Now that basically does it in terms of that kind of content. Now let me go ahead and call out some games that I want to predict for the third party representation side. First, I'm gonna go ahead and look at Sega over here. Man, oh man, would I love to see a new Sonic Mania 2 announced. In terms of Sonic games, I'm a very casual kind of Sonic game. I play some good games like Sonic Adventure 2, Unleash, Colors, Sonic Advance 3, you name it, the original Sonic. I played some good games in my time though. Sonic Forces left, a little bit more to be desired though, but man, if you gave me that Sonic Mania 2, man, I would be thrilled as all get up, man. Like, please, Sega, please do that though. But in terms of Sega Atlas though, we do got Persona 5 Scramble coming out within a couple of weeks here in the month of February. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, Come on now. Just go ahead and announce it. Just go ahead and tell me that either the Persona 5 Vanilla version or the Persona 5 Royal version is coming out to the Nintendo Switch. Like, I would love it if I get to see one of those games be represented on the Nintendo Switch platform besides just Persona 5 Scramble, though. Like, you're giving us a sequel to the game. Go ahead and give us the original one, baby. In terms of another third-party rep I want to see is Square Enix. Come on, Square Enix. Like, I know you got something in the pipelines. I feel like it's probably only a matter of time before they show more Final Fantasy love for the Switch, and I feel like they might wind up bringing Final Fantasy 13 to the Switch. Go ahead and drop that whole entire trilogy on the Switch. I mean, me personally, I think 10 is probably the best the series has probably gotten, though, but other people still really do enjoy the series, so I would not be shocked if they give us a Final Fantasy 13. Looking at my boy over here, Dragon Quest over here, I would definitely say, you know what, I'm just go ahead and predict and say, you know what, I feel like they might give us Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6, a trilogy of that, because we did get Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, we already got 11 on there. Go ahead and keep churning out that Dragon Quest content for us, and go ahead and drop out 4, 5, 6 within a trilogy pack, either whether it be digitally, also physically. It'd be nice to have it physically as well, though, but come on, Square Enix, just throw me a bone, please. And then lastly, I always gotta keep predicting this until the day it finally happens, though, but please, 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 just find a way to give us some kind of thing that's Kingdom Hearts related in some type of shape, form, or capacity. No, I don't think we're gonna get Kingdom Hearts 3 anytime soon on the Switch, especially, you know, based upon the graphics and what it's basically able to do within that game, though. But we did get Melody and Memories on the Switch, so like, come on, just throw us a bone. At least, at the bare minimum, at least give us 1.5 plus 2.5. I'm here, I'm ready, Square Enix. I'm ready to drop you my 64. I don't even care at this point. I just want to play these games, gosh darn it. That would be basically it in terms of my Square Enix sort of kind of predictions. And lastly, I think the big other major player for third parties that I will mention here will be none other than Capcom. Now, we know with Capcom, there was a big major leak or supposed leak that might have happened in terms of their servers and what kind of games that were potentially within the nearby distant horizon, not even for just this year, but any kind of years going beyond the year of 2021. One of them being is a big resurgence of Ace Attorney in general, starting with the Great Ace Attorney, a game that was only released within Japan, and it might be actually getting localized and getting brought to the West. We did get to see on some type of Korean rating boards that the game was already rated for the Great Ace Attorney, which would consist of the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2. I feel like, you know what, this might be a perfect time to go ahead and drop it within this direct right here. The other thing I will go ahead and predict is maybe Ace Attorney 4, 5, and 6 as a trilogy pack. I think we're either going to get one or the other. It would be nice if we got both within the same presentation, but I feel like Capcom might try to spread the love a little bit. So if we get the Great Ace Attorney, don't be surprised if 4, 5, and 6 don't show up. Maybe they'll show up in some kind of later Nintendo Direct, whether it be a mini, regular, or the E3 presentation, what would be an E3, maybe a little later on within this year, though. But I think that's my big predictions for Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney's up on the rise, and I'm ready to go ahead and dive up into those games as well, though. Now, the other thing outside of Ace Attorney is the big major focal point that I think everybody has their eyes on, is none other than Monster Hunter Rise. I mentioned the Monster Hunter Rise related stuff that could tie in with Smash Brothers, though, but as the game itself, we do know the game is coming out in March, and I feel like they might go ahead and take this time to showcase off a little bit more, and even go ahead and throw that tease and say, hey, even after the presentation on a certain select date and time, we'll give you even more content. But for now, we'll just squeeze whatever we can within this regular direct right here. So I feel like that's what they're going to do in terms of showing off Monster Hunter Rise. But I will not stop there, because we did get to know that Monster Hunter Rise is getting a limited edition Switch for Japan and Europe and Australia. It seems like almost everywhere in the world but the United States. And I feel like they might go ahead and announce that that limited edition Switch is coming out. And I felt like I really wanted it to be announced closer when they announced it for the other regions, but maybe they were saving it just for this direct and giving it a huge focal push here in North America. Maybe that's the reason why. And they also wanted to make sure they gone through and sell all of those Mario limited edition Switches, so that way we can go ahead and get this one and have its focal point right here. So I'm really hoping for that announcement as well with that. Now, that's basically all the third parties I'm going to go ahead and predict. I feel like there's going to be a lot more out there though, but in terms of Capcom, Square Enix, as well as Sega, I feel like that's going to be basically the main meat and potatoes, at least for what I'm going to try to predict for this Nintendo General Direct. Now, before I go into the very last major topic being the first party IP Nintendo games that would be announced for this Direct that we don't know anything about, that would be brand new, there's also going to be the little bit of information of games that are still coming to the Switch for the first half of this year that we already know about that will probably get shed some little bit more light, such as, Persona 5 Scramble. That will be go ahead and just, reshown to remind everybody, as well as Bravely Default 2. They'll go ahead and remind people about that. Monster Hunter Rise, we already know that's coming out. They'll go ahead and remind people on that. And then the other big thing would be is, new Pokemon Snap. Now with that, I feel like they might put a little bit of a nod in there, but I feel like there might be a little short little Pokemon segment in there that will say, hey, here's a little tease for it though, but come back next week and we're gonna have a whole lot more Pokemon related news that's gonna be shown throughout the anniversary week of Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Either they'll give that little bit of a tease, or that might not be there at all, but I'll go ahead and call it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a Pokemon Direct theme for next week though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call that right now though. So whether we get Pokemon Snap news or not, don't fret, because it's probably going to be coming next week if we don't get it within this presentation though. But that along with Neo The World Ends With You, we also know that's coming, as well as Monster Hunter Stories 2, we know that one's also coming as well as Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. That game has already been released over there in Japan, and I imagine it wouldn't take that much to go ahead and show a new trailer off and go ahead and announce that release date as well. I feel like all of that will be showcased off in this general Nintendo Direct as well though. So that about covers everything I think that will be normally in this Direct. Now the big meat and potatoes. What would be the brand new first party IP games that will be coming on the Switch possibly within this year or maybe next year? They go ahead and start laying out the groundwork for the year of 2022 and beyond. So I mean, you just never know with Nintendo. You never know. They're the kings of left field, baby. They've always been the kings of left field. So the first thing I'll go ahead and call out is I feel like a brand new 3D Kirby game is probably going to be announced in this Direct. I mean, shoot, I mentioned earlier, I said they're probably going to give an update for, Kirby Fighters and stuff, but this is the normal kind of time that they normally like dropping things for Yoshi, things for Kirby. Kirby Star Allies was announced sometime in springtime. I think same thing for Yoshi's Crafted World was announced sometime in springtime. If you're gonna announce a brand new 3D Kirby game, I think this is the time to do it early within the spring while you still got people's attentions right there. I feel like the 3D Kirby game is gonna go ahead and be announced. That's something that I did call within my whole entire 2021 predictions that I made on the video on the channel. If you hadn't seen that, you can go ahead and check that out though after you're done with this video though. But I feel like that might be a game that might be coming as well though. Something else besides Kirby, I feel like there might be a decent chance that we might get a brand new Fire Emblem game revealed within this Direct. I'm thinking if it is going to be something, I feel like it's going to be none other than Fire Emblem Genealogy of a Holy War. It's the fourth game within the Fire Emblem series, and it's basically the next one that we will be getting in terms of a remake, because they already remade the first game, the second one being Echo Shadow Valentia, as well as the third one that was only released in Japan, that was never localized. Next in line up the bat would be none other than Genealogy of a Holy War. That's something else I also mentioned within my predictions for 2021 though, and I just feel like this might be a good time. I mean, we're getting close to the end of what would be considered as Fire Emblem's 30th anniversary. They've done some crazy stuff, did some voice actor recognition and stuff. They went ahead and localized the first game. We also within that same amount of year, early within the year of 2020, we did get the DLC for Fire Emblem Three Houses. They might still try to keep this ball going and go ahead and announce that the remake is coming in the nearby distant future. So I feel like that might be a decent chance. And then lastly, I think the last major thing I feel like that could be brand new, that could be shown off here, will be none other than the setup to Zelda's 35th anniversary. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wouldn't they go ahead and announce, the whole entire Zelda 35th anniversary stuff within its own general direct? And to that, I say yes. However, Zelda's 35th anniversary is technically coming up almost within the next week, and it almost basically sort of kind of collides with Pokemon's 25th anniversary though. So I feel like you wouldn't just, and with that thing literally coming up within the next few days, really, I feel like they can't go beyond this presentation without at least setting up some things to come out for the distant future. And in the same avenue as Mario's 35th anniversary, we did get Paper Mario and the Origami King announced before they even had the 35th anniversary direct. So I feel like there might be one Zelda game. I feel like one Zelda game that they can go ahead and announce that'll be brand new, or sort of kind of brand new, that could be announced for the release of this year, and that would be none other than Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I feel like they'll just go ahead and drop that out and saying it's going to be go ahead and getting this release. Now, some of y'all might be thinking, well, shoot, I really wanted Breath of the Wild too. I feel like if that game will be coming out this year, I feel like they want to have a bigger emphasis and a bigger focus within a specialized Zelda 35th anniversary direct. Like, if they can get it out this year, I feel like that would be the time to do it. And that might be roughly around what would be the E3 time for the year of 2021. I feel like that's the time you should go ahead and go balls to the walls and go ahead and reveal that game though. But I'll go ahead and call there's gonna be some kind of Zelda game. Zelda is just too big along with Mario for them to not show anything Zelda related within this direct. So I'll go ahead and call it and say Skyward Sword is probably gonna be dropped tomorrow as the announcement, one of the major ones. They might actually conclude off on that, either that or Smash Brothers. It's gonna be one of the two, and I feel like that's gonna be everything that's gonna be shown within this Nintendo General Direct that's happening on Wednesday, February 17th at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped on this. Managed to barely get it over, a little over 20 minutes on this video though. So I hope y'all really did enjoy this little prediction video I went ahead and managed to put together for y'all. So down in the comment section down below, let me know what games do you personally predict, or games that you personally want to be showcased off within this next Nintendo Direct that is only going to be so many hours away from releasing and dropping, y'all. So if you really like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things Nintendo related I feel like discussing with y'all. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.